So welcome back to third part of the P block elements exercise, class 11, question number 21. The question is, explain the following reactions. First is, silicon is heated with methyl chloride at high temperature in the presence of copper. So keep in mind, silicon is tetravalent. Okay, as it is tetravalent and we have methyl and chloride, methyl and chlorine. So first of all, chlorine, 3 chlorines, 1 methyl, it can be possible, means monomethyl chlorosilane, or silicon, 2 chlorine, 2 methyl, means dimethyl chlorosilanes, or 1 chloro, 3 methyl, is trimethyl chlorosilane, and a small amount of the where tetramethylsilane is formed without any chlorine. Okay, so these are the products formed. See, when a methyl chloride is heated with silicon in the presence of copper at 373 Kelvin, that means at high temperature, then we get monomethyl chlorosilane, dimethyl chlorosilane, trimethyl chlorosilane, and small amount of tetramethyl silane. Okay, so this is the A part of question number 21. Next is silicon dioxide is treated with HF. Obviously, silicon and it is dioxide. Okay, that means silicon is tetravalent, is 2 oxygen, means each oxygen form double bond, right? And SiO2, so it is a network of bonds like this. Am I right? There is network of bonds. Okay, so when HF, this SiO2 is dissolved in HF, okay, that is called etching of glass, because in glass there is SiO2. Okay, so this etching of glass. Okay, we are writing on the glass because of this purpose. HF, so HF, this SiO2 dissolves in HF to give SiF4. So oxygen is divalent and fluorine is monovalent. So instead of 2 oxygen, we attach 4 fluorine. So SiF4 is formed, and SiF4, this silicon tetrafluoride initially formed, dissolves in HF, and we get H2 SiF6, because SiF6 is 2, so 2H plus ion. Therefore, H2 SiF6 is formed. Right? Next, CO is heated with zinc oxide. CO is a reducing agent. CO is a reducing agent, and that's why CO, when react with zinc oxide, then it gives CO2 along with zinc. So zinc oxide is reduced to zinc. Okay, now aluminium dissolves to form sodium meta-aluminate, because when we have alumina means aluminium oxide. Okay, hydrated aluminium oxide. Okay, that is called oxide. Okay, so when it is dissolved in sodium hydroxide, so we get sodium meta-aluminate, NaAlO2 along with 3H2. Right? It is a simple reaction, that when alumina react with sodium hydroxide, means bauxite dissolves in sodium hydroxide to give sodium meta-aluminate. Next, question number 22. It is most interesting question. See, concentrated, this is actually concentrated. Okay, concentrated HNO3, nitric acid, can be transported in aluminum containers. aluminium reacts with concentrated HNO3, and when aluminium react with HNO3, it will give aluminium oxide, and this aluminium oxide, it forms a layer on the surface of aluminium. So when it forms a layer, it protects the container from further corrosion. Okay, see, aluminium reacts with concentrated HNO3 and form a very thin film of aluminium oxide on its surface, okay, which protects it from further reaction, and that's why nitric acid can be safely transported in the aluminium containers because of the formation of aluminium oxide which adhere on the surface of the aluminium, and that's why aluminium cannot expose to nitric acid directly. There is a layer of aluminium oxide that cannot be penetrated by nitric acid. That's why nitric acid can be transported in aluminium containers because of the formation of that aluminium oxide layer. Okay. Next, a mixture of dilute sodium hydroxide and aluminium pieces is used to open drain. Obviously, see, there is a drainage line. Let us say there is a blockage. Okay. So when aluminium and NaOH they react, obviously there is a water. So along with sodium metaaluminate, there is a formation of hydrogen gas, and due to the formation of gas, this obstacle is broken by the gas due to the pressure created by the gas. See, NaOH reacts with aluminium and it evolves hydrogen gas. Okay, so presence of the gas produced can be used for clogged drains, means to open drain. Okay, graphite is used as a lubricant. That I told you in the previous questions that graphite has layered structure, hexagonal layered structure, and in between the layers there is a van der Waals attraction. Okay, and that's why one layer can slip over the other. So due to this slippery nature, it acts as a lubricant. So graphite has layered structure which are held by weak van der Waals forces. Okay, so graphite cleaves easily between the layers, or it can slip over each other. Okay, and it is very soft and slippery. That's why used as a lubricant. Diamond is used as abrasive. That I told you that graphite has three-dimensional network of covalent bonds, carbon bonds. Okay, and that strong carbon bonds, and that's why it is very hard and can be used for cutting purpose or as an abrasive. Okay, diamond is used an abrasive because of its extremely hard substance. Aluminium alloys are used to make aircraft body. Why is it so? It is because of its light weight, it is tough, and it is resistant to corrosion, because on the aluminium there is a formation of thin layer of aluminium oxide, and therefore it cannot be corroded. So it is resistant to corrosion. Okay, that's why it is used to make aircraft body. See, alloys of aluminium like duralumin, it is used to make aircraft body due to its property like toughness, lightness, and resistant to corrosion. Okay, aluminium utensils should not be kept in water overnight. Why is it so? Because aluminium metal, okay, if it kept overnight, then it reacts with water in the presence of air and it gives aluminium oxide. Okay, or a very small amount of aluminium 3+ produced in solution, that is injurious to health if water is used for drinking purpose. Okay, last is aluminium wire is used in to make transmission cables. Yes, because aluminium is generally unaffected by air and moisture. Okay, and that's why it is also a good conductor of electricity. That's why it is used in transmission cables. Aluminium is, I told you earlier, okay, it is resistant to corrosion. Okay, it is generally unaffected by air and moisture, and that's why it is a good conductor of electricity. That's why it is used in transmission cables. Okay, so that's all for the day. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do like, subscribe and share my channel. God bless you all. Happy learning. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.